What up, though, y'all? It's Chris broadcasting to you from the OC out here in Killer Cali. And it's been quite a few interesting things happening in the world during my time here. Now we got the Menendez brothers. They've both been denied parole. I didn't even realize that they were up for parole. But here we are, Menendez brothers. When did that happen? It was either the very late 80s or the very early 90s. You know, couple very spoiled, very entitled young men. They were starting to do dumb stuff. They were starting to do like your typical rich kid, unaccountable stuff. They were breaking into the homes of their neighbors. Every time they did something stupid, the dad smoothed it over. They went, after they broke into the home of their neighbors or the homes of their neighbors, like one of them found out who it was and was gonna prosecute. The dad went and gave them money to change their mind about it. One of them had got a girl pregnant. The dad went to go see her and cut her a check for her to go ahead and end the pregnancy. You know, they just had a long tenure, basically all their life up to that point, excuse me, of just not being accountable for their actions, doing really stupid stuff, and the dad fixing it. And it seemed like the more the dad fixed their problems, the more stupid that they would be in terms of recklessness. So these are young men that had lives that many would have found to be enviable because, I mean, they had access to everything. Yeah, the dad was a bit intense. You know, from all accounts, we see that the dad would be a bit intense. He would like grill them about various different things at the dinner table, you know, asking them their knowledge about this and that. I mean, you know, was it a bit dickish? Yeah, sure, it was, but he didn't deserve what he got. Ultimately, what ends up happening is the dad realizes his sons are fuck ups. All right, his sons are never gonna be what he wants them to be. They're just never gonna be successful. They don't have his drive, his dedication. You know, he was wealthy where he came from, came here broke, and then made himself back, you know, like self-made. And he just realized his sons was just not cut from the same cloth as him. Even though they were his offspring, they just didn't have the it factor. So he's like, he's gonna cut them out of the will. They asses is cut off. The ride is over. Y'all can go out here and make it on y'all own. And as a father myself, with a son, I can certainly understand that frustration. When kids, we pour into our children. We pour into our children. We try to make them productive members of society. We try to guide them in the direction of being successful. But I mean, certain personality types raised in certain environments, there's no amount of pouring into them that you can do that is going to take. Like, his kids were hell bent on being fuck ups. So what do? They plan the murder of their parents. They go out, they buy weapons or whatever, ammo, and then they come back and they ambush them while they're in the living room or sitting room, some sort of lounge area. Need to get by.
Thank you.
No problem. They ambush their parents and shoot them up. The mom somehow survives. They go out to the car, reload, because they had all this stuff in the trunk, and then go back in to finish the mom off. Just absolutely diabolical behavior. And they've been in there, what, 3.5 decades or something like that? No, it's been just about 3 decades, a little over. But they've been in there. I think they're exactly where they should be. I don't feel sorry for them, their circumstances. See, the thing is, I don't feel sorry for people that got exactly what they wanted. They wanted their parents out of the way, and that's what they got. Now, things may not have panned out exactly how they wanted afterwards, but that's what they wanted, and they got what they wanted. And I'm just not really feeling all that sympathetic. I'm old enough to remember when that trial was happening in real time, and they suddenly had what was later dubbed the abuse excuse. They were like, oh, their dad was this monster who was touching them and all that. From all accounts, with the dad, Jose was an asshole, right? No one is denying that. From all accounts, he was very intense. From all accounts, he was a savage. He was a shark. But the guy was hardworking, and no one, literally no one, was he a womanizer? Sure, but no one ever accused him of being like a predator of any sort. So now, after you guys brutally murder your parents and your dad is no longer here to defend himself, oh, my dad was doing this to me, my dad was doing that to me, oh, we feared that our parents were going to kill us. Really, bro? Your parents that were literally doing everything for you up to this point, paying for everything, always fixing whatever stupid situations you put yourselves in, you were afraid that they were going to off you. Yeah, okay. So the first ended in a mistrial, but they couldn't keep their mouths shut. They were caught saying, one of them, we fooled half of America in the first trial. We just have to fool the other half in the second trial. That's a really stupid thing to say if you're innocent and you're on trial for your life. So that second trial didn't go their way. They were both found guilty. They're in prison where they're likely going to stay. And I think I got to go walking again because we got another snack dog out making a bunch of noise. I think that's the only thing that I don't like about being here where I am, is that everyone owns those little stupid, loud, foo-foo dogs. The type of dog that, not suggesting that you do, but you could just grab them and punt it. They're one of those. They're literally like the size of a football. At any rate, back to the story of the Menendez brothers. They've been in there all this time. They're finally up for parole. They were not granted parole. Now, I don't know why the other wasn't, but one of them was denied parole because of bad behavior over the decades of him being in there. So imagine being up for parole after like 30 plus years or whatever, and the reason why you're denied is because of the bad behavior you exuded while you were in there. That's crazy. So both brothers have been denied. They're staying their asses in there, and they deserve to be in there. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for a couple rich brats who killed their parents because they just felt so entitled to continue to be taken care of in spite of how much fucking up that they were doing in life. I mean, you got two young men. These were guys that were conventionally handsome. They were from a well-to-do family, both parents. These are two young men that had every advantage that you could possibly give young men in life. The dad got them into, Princeton. They were hell-bent on fucking up no matter what. So, in my opinion, they're exactly where they should be. And, I don't know. I'm not going to say I hope they never get out, but I wouldn't lose any sleep over it if they don't ever get out. I'm going to leave it there, though, you guys. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. And hit me in them comments. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.